Hi, this is Tiffany Shoemake, Executive Director of RILA's Retail Compliance Center. Welcome to the second tutorial using the advisor for the RILA Retail Advisor for Diversity and Inclusion. Today, I'm going to cover the help menus, using the system, and also the assessment-related menus. So let's get started. So the very first place where you can get help is on this login screen, and that's with this guide, and you don't have to be logged in to get it. And this gives you steps for getting registered, creating an assessment, reviewing the results. And that's right here on the login screen. Once you log in, it's important to keep in mind that the exact screen that you see depends on the permissions you have as the user and also where you are with your assessments. So your screen is likely to look different from my screen. This entire system is built around the assessments, so many of the menus and the functions are related to specific assessments. But before we get started, I want to show where there's additional help. The first time you log on, you're likely to get the broadcasts coming up, and these are context-sensitive help. For example, this one is showing where to get help on the page. So if you want to bring up the broadcast again, that's this little icon here, and you can bring up the broadcast. The other place to get help is this little blue box here, and that gives additional information, and that's specific to the page that you're on. If you want more detail, wherever you see the little gray chevron, there's additional information, and then you can close it back up. So anywhere in the system, that's what the chevron means. So the help is either the broadcasts or the help button. So right now, you can see that along here on the left, there's not many menu options, and that's because I have not selected an assessment. And again, assessments are the core of the system. But one place that is not related to the assessments, and that's my profile. So you can click here to make changes to your user profile, your password, preferences, information like that. And that's up here under your name. So once I click on assessment, here's a new assessment that I just created. I click on that, and that gives me more menu items off to the left related to that specific assessment. One of the key elements is the collaboration. Who has access and can make changes to a specific assessment? So I am the lead. I can add other team members to this assessment. So I can add Evan, and I can give him permissions, whether he is allowed to contribute to the assessment or can only just look at the data, the results from the assessment. You can also, and I'm not going to add him, so I'm going to take him off. You can also add another organization. Right now, there are no other organizations associated with RILA, but if you had a subsidiary or other groups, say a consultant who you wanted to have access to the system, you would add them here. I am not going to save that change. So here I'm going back to my Dog World stores, and it shows, because this was further along in the assessment, I have additional menu items. One thing that's important for the assessment is the stage, and up here this tells you where you are. I'm at the review stage, which means that I've completed everything, but I can go back to another stage anytime I want. Or I can go forward if you've completed that stage. So for example, I can't go forward. If I go to the questionnaire stage, I can go back to that. I can't go forward to the review stage unless I've completed all the questions in my questionnaire. Where you see that is on this main menu. For each assessment, it shows you the stage. It also shows me what my role is on it and other information. So let me again select my Dog World stores and look at some of the menu items. Over here, this is the guidance. Because I've completed all the questions, it shows the business guidance related to my answers. I can also look at my results. I'm not going into any details on the assessment or the results because that will be in the next tutorial. The other place where you can get information on results is under the summary and the reports. And this is where I can download PDF reports related to, again, a specific assessment. So to kind of recap, the system's built around these assessments. Based on the assessment, I'll have different menu options on the left, based around the assessment and also the permissions that I have. So one more thing is, for example, only the org manager can add an assessment. So only the organization manager would have this blue button giving them permission to add an assessment. And that really is how the system works. So to recap, if you want to get help, you have the broadcasts when you go on the system for the first time, and you can always pull them up again. You have that little icon with the question mark where you can get additional help related to the page you're on. And anytime you see a gray chevron, if you click on it, there's additional information. The system's built around assessments. So when you click on an assessment, you'll get more menu options, and those are based also on your user permissions. And in the menus, you have your user profile, and then you have the assessment menu options, the summary, guidance, results, and the collaboration menus. If you want additional help, here's some contacts. We'd always be happy to answer your questions or walk you or your team through using the system. And now you can dive into creating an assessment, and that's going to be our next tutorial. Thank you.